I spent 10 years bouncing off rock bottom. And that means that I've lived a PhD in pain, procrastination, and picking up the pieces from a path of destruction leveled against myself and those around me. It also means I've learned a thing or two about what it takes to bounce back, to move forward, and to overcome some of life's greatest struggles. I've also learned there's a reason why you are stuck, why you're not happy, not successful, and not fulfilled. And it's not what you think. G'day, I'm Gary Fay, the Neurostoic, and I've been helping high-performing individuals, teams, and organizations build mental strength, success, and resilience, combining the science of the mind with the philosophy of action for over 20 years. And now you can get all the actionable tactics that I share absolutely free by smashing that subscribe button right now. But back to your success. Every individual that I have worked with, myself included, that has faced struggle, has done so in the absence of three key ingredients. If you're struggling to move from where you are now to where you want to be, I'd bet London to a house brick that at least one, and most likely all three, of these things are missing from your life. There's an underpinning theme to each of them, but without any one of them, there is no progress. I've often described what I experienced as a combination of bobbing up and down the ocean, not being able to take control of where I was heading, and feeling as though I was trying as hard as I could, only to stay just as stuck as ever, or sometimes even worse. The truth is, I just never had the right perspective, nor a clear, conscious, and compelling enough vision to move from the quagmire that I was controlled by. The underpinning element to all of your problems is identity. And there are three essential elements that are lacking in a life unfulfilled. In a life unfulfilled, your identity is not clear, conscious, or compelling enough to create positive change. But there's a way to turn all that around. It's true that in the absence of a clear, conscious, and compelling identity, we all become a victim of circumstance, a victim of conditioning, and a victim of comfort. But the change is something that occurs with intention, piece by piece. The end result will be a version of you that exists at some point in the future, built by the steps you take today and every day between now, then, and beyond. So, how well do you know yourself? How long would it take you to describe exactly who you are without referring to the things that you do? Your job, your sport, your likes and dislikes. All important elements of life, but nothing to do with who you are. Don't despair though. There are not many people who don't confuse the two. Even those who seemingly have their lives together fall victim to the conditioned responses to do with who they are. The first thing to do is understand the power of perspective. Your current perspective is flawed. It is tied to the stories that you've been telling yourself for weeks, for months, and maybe even years. Elevate yourself above that perspective. If it helps, consider you are watching yourself in a movie that takes place at some stage in the future. Depending on the size of your desired change, it could be 6 weeks, maybe 6 months, or for some, even 6 years. Don't look at yourself today with a skewed vision of your self-esteem, self-respect, and self-confidence. Now that you have your perspective in place, it's time to project a clear vision of who you are. Till now, if you've even broached the subject of who you are, of who I am, of who am I, then you have no doubt been very generic, name and job centric, and not at all specific. Big mistake. If you can't describe it, you can't achieve it. Who you are is the most fundamental question keeping everybody stuck. We have created an unproductive narrative in our head that is holding us back. And even when we pretend to identify ourselves, we do so in such levels of generality, we can very easily celebrate false wins or dismiss any progress. Clarity removes these problems. Creating a clear vision of who you are as a person is no doubt the first game changer in shifting your identity from struggle to success. Get clear and let it be your guiding light before you move on to the next step. The next step is to learn that the biggest offense to becoming a victim of conditioning, a victim of circumstance, and a victim of comfort is to get conscious. Lifelong conditioning means that around 90% of what we think and do in a given day is simply a repeat of yesterday, which in turn is a repeat of the day before. And you can guess where that history keeps going. Most people walk through life with subconscious blinkers on, almost on autopilot, chasing visions of themselves that they haven't even painted. The result is that one day we look around and don't recognize anything from the view, inside or out, following the same printout as everyone else in society, chasing the same subconscious goals, and a misguided image of success leaves everyone stuck in the same place, unfulfillment. You get stuck in a version of success dealt by society. You chase the chattels that you think will make you happy. And then when you arrive, you realize it's not all it's cracked up to be, and the holes start to emerge. Often, this stage of misguided success comes with confusion, unsure why you would remain unfulfilled and unhappy when you have achieved all of the things that you set out to achieve. But those goals weren't truly your goals, or not consciously anyway. And so your subconscious will forever ask those fateful two questions. Is this it? And what's next? So the key? Get conscious. Get conscious about that person you clearly described. Own it and begin to live into it. And if you cover off on getting clear and you are conscious about that process, you will have no doubt about the person you are becoming. But there is still one danger. If that vision of your future self is not compelling enough to get you moving and to keep you moving, then your life will forever be lived in the past, stuck to a stage of life no longer relevant except for lessons and memories. You can use that same trick from step 1 to elevate yourself above the vision and create a real life movie version of yourself with you as the hero. Go all out in this phase. Be bold, be courageous, and create a compelling vision of your future. One your kids would be proud to tell their friends about, and your grandkids will want to ask questions of. There's just no doubt that one of the biggest reasons that you are stuck exactly where you are is that you haven't yet been able to paint a future worth getting out of bed for, let alone chasing down with passion and purpose. So find something worth your time, worth your effort, and worth your pain, because chasing down anything that is valuable is going to take all three. What you've been handed there today are the keys to the kingdom. In this one 10-minute block is a unit of study that has been proven time and again over the past 10 years with my clients, with me, and in every true success story found throughout the ages. There is no true success or fulfillment where there is no vision. And that vision needs to be clear. That vision needs to be conscious. And that vision needs to be compelling enough to get you moving, first with a single step and then with momentum. I know exactly what it feels like to be stuck, to know something is wrong, but not know how to describe it, let alone what to do about it. But I found the secret. And step 1 relies on you creating a clear, conscious, and compelling vision of your future, of your identity, of you. If you need help with the strategies, how to take those steps, then you can always click here and see the exact steps that high performers take to optimize their success. Tools that work no matter whether you are bouncing off rock bottom or on the edge of greatness. My goal is to move everyone from where they are now to where they want to be. But I need you to do your bit. Chase success, be brutal, and don't stop.